Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the second Saga action figure set of the Will and Lion Cat from McFarlane Toys that I picked up at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. As a fan of Saga, yes, I am very happy that they've made these action figures. I'm glad they exist, but I do have some issues, so let's just get right down to it. The Will's face is so simple looking. Like, McFarlane Toys is capable of so much. They've shown, even in this little 5-inch scale with the Walking Dead series, not just the TV series that are based on actual actors' faces, but the comic book series, they've had expression and detail, and this is so simplistic looking. They've made better. They are capable of more, and based on Fiona Staples' art, I don't see the Will here. I just see like some dark eyebrows and some dark dotted eyes, and a basic sort of paint on this bald head, and also the head looks really small. If you look at the size of this figure's legs and the chest, it's a tiny head. Look how broad his chest is. Look at the length of his arms, and look how teeny tiny that head is. I think McFarlane Toys really dropped the ball on this. They also dropped the ball on their articulation. Once again, we've got these visible pins going through not just the elbows or the sides of the knees, but right through the shoulders there. That's just ugly. I know they tend to do their sculpts and then just sort of throw on some articulation to appease articulation fans, but, DC Collectibles had this problem with their first wave of Batman the Animated Series figures, and they rectified it because they realized that pins in the shoulders and pins right there at the top of the leg are ugly looking, and that you can also get that joint without having the joint showing. So consider me disappointed with that. But the usual strengths of McFarlane Toys are here, i.e. the sculpt, the bend of his shoe, the wrinkling of his pants, and the paint that highlights the darker sections and the little lighter sections that highlight the wrinkles. Really, really strong stuff. The kind of wash on the little doodads on his belt look really, really good. The wrinkling of his shirt, the overall color tone of his shirt and the wrinkles, the sculpt of his little cape, his hooded cape, all really good. I love all the little details within the way it wrinkles right there at the shoulder, and then also the little holes where you can see the red showing through on that. Really good stuff, really good texture to this. So everything on this is pretty good as far as design goes, except for the holes and that terrible, terrible head. Lion Cat is a pretty good design, and I'm mostly happy with how it turned out. McFarlane Toys has a history of adding articulation to things that don't really matter because they only look good in one particular position. But with Lion Cat, you can actually turn the head forward and still get the wrinkle on the back of the neck, but it still looks good turned to the side, and you could still pivot the head forward and back. So this one has some better articulation than I'm used to from them, even with this little side joint here, which doesn't really matter because you're always going to want that little back thing to always be on the back. So this joint's kind of pointless. But the front legs look okay. I do like the fact that the tail can pivot and swivel. Good sculpt though. It's not a perfectly smooth surface. We get little wrinkles by the legs. Some heavy-handed wash paint at the wrinkle there. But I like the sculpt of the little back saddle-y thing, the decor of it. The front section here, very, very nice sculpt. The gold paint's pretty good. I like the spotting, so the spotting's good. And then the face. They did a great job with Lion Cat's face. I love Lion Cat, so having this figure makes me really happy. And they did a great job with the eyes, the sculpt of the ears, the ear paint, the mouth paint. Really follows the mouth pretty good. I like just the cheekbones, the little wrinkling at the top of the head. This turned out great. And one thing that's fun is that these legs are movable, and you can plug on some other legs so it's not in a seated position. So here it is with the other set of legs, and I do like Lion Cat in the full upright position. I think the seated legs are a really nice touch. It's a fun way to display it. I think it's great they included both. It will take you quite a bit of time to plug the other legs on. There's just this little kind of sliver right in the middle there, and once you're trying to push them both on, you push the legs one way and it bends, so you don't have a stable thing. You're constantly kind of fighting against each other side just to get the legs on. But man, that does look good. Also nice touch, we got little kitty paws on the bottom, so that's nice. And another fun thing is it comes with this little stand. You plug the little pull into this base, and we get the little text bubble of lying, and we get it in the same font and the same lines as that we see in the book. And I like that the line really lines up with the mouth, so that's great. I'm not always the biggest fan of like funny little text bubbles like that, but considering this is all Lion Cat ever says, I think this is really, really cool accessory. I dig this quite a bit more than I was expecting. Speaking of accessories, we also get the Will's lance, both in its little simple position here and also the fully extended one. Well, not fully extended, but pretty far extended. It's a doozy. It's a long one. And we also get just a little basic figure stand for the Will to stand on. So yeah, complaints about the Will aside, I'm still happy this toy exists. You know, Saga is, you know, in my opinion, one of the best comics made in the last 10, 15 years, but it's not something you see a lot of merch support for. So having this toy, especially as a fan of action figures, as an action figure collector, having this on the shelf, it's great. I don't want to say it's like a miracle, but it is very surprising that McFarlane would get behind this. Usually, you know, you only see them available at Comic-Cons, but they are available, I think, on the Skybound website as well. This collector is happy it exists. I do wish the face was better, but yeah, delighted as a Saga fan to have this. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you want, follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.